The children of today will make the children of tomorrow. These are Neeraji's words. We're here today to talk about the children of our future, the youth of our future. We invest so much of our time and our money in giving them very good education. We send them abroad, we spend lakhs, in the hope that one day they will become a success. They definitely do. However, is that success real? Is that success enough? Do we as parents have to look at the holistic upbringing of a child, where we instill in them solid sanskaras, that of authenticity, humility, love, compassion? Because a child, when it is looked after and brought up with a lot of love and compassion, will embody these values and will definitely become more responsible citizens of tomorrow. We're looking at children of the world, not just children of India. They are those ones who are going to be the future of every nation of the entire world. Because all of our experiences hinges on our moral and spiritual conditioning. We have with us today Saundarya ji. She is a conductor over there and has been working with Dada Shriji for the last 10 years.
Yes.
She does a lot of programs for the youth. But not just the youth. MaitriBodh Parivaar and the conductors over there, they do conduct sessions for the adults. But there is a lot of focus nowadays on the youth. Because as I said earlier, they are our future. She's going to help us delve deeper into something that we call spiritual parenting. She herself is a parent, and I'm looking forward to having this wonderful conversation with her. Saundarya ji.
Yes, Prajakta.
When we spoke of the film, you addressed this term and you said spiritual parenting.
Yes.
And there are a lot of parents out there who are not aware of this particular term. And you also have a lot of other parents who are aware, but then they connect this to the divine, they connect it to God. If you can, in your simple, wonderful words, explain to us what is spiritual parenting.
Yes. Sure, Prajakta ji. Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. Actually, it was very inspiring the way you shared what you shared, and so beautifully, because you're right. Children are the future of the world, and
Yes.
we need to invest really, really well in our children. So, firstly, to understand spiritual parenting, we need to understand the concept of spirituality. So, spirituality is not really so much to do just with divine or just with God, which is a common misconception. Spirituality is a way of life. It is the way you lead your life. It is about values. It is about love. It is about happiness. It is about bringing the world together as one. So that is what spirituality is about. So from what I have learned from Dada Shriji over the years, what he has taught me is how to lead your life happily, how to lead your life in a way where you are your own inspiration and you inspire those around you to live well. So when it comes to spiritual parenting, it becomes more about values. It becomes more about not just focusing on, raising children to be successful and independent in the world outside, but resilient and happy and successful even within.
Absolutely.
Because if you keep achieving, and as parents, we usually, go after our kids to achieve. But then they reach a point, and if they trip or if they have a little bit of a, fall, how do you deal with that? That is what spiritual parenting addresses. So it's about how to raise our children with good values, with resilience, with strength, and so that they have a wholesome life, a complete life in the future.
Wonderful. And it is the need of the hour today, especially, with the world being so very competitive. And I feel that all of this starts from the womb itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how important is it for parents, not just the mother, both the parents, the father and the mother, for them to understand that the personality of the child starts in the womb itself?
Absolutely. Yes, it does.
So how important is that? And what are those things that as parents they need to take care of while they're nurturing the child in the womb? What is it that they need to take a look at?
So, because of the influence of the world, we have this common misconception that, and it's at the back of our mind sometimes, that we take things for granted that our children don't understand. But our children start understanding and start picking up stuff right from the time they are, conceived. Yeah. Right from that time.
Absolutely.
Because what happens is that the physical body of a child is getting built at that time. Your physical body is not just, you may think that it's just flesh and bones and blood, but it is a lot more than that. Every aspect of your body that is getting built with sanskar.
Yes.
So while the formation is happening in the womb, whatever is being said, whatever atmosphere is there around that the mother is experiencing, the child that is getting built inside her automatically gets influenced by that. So your body is built by the sanskar that you are, absorbing right from the time that you are getting formed in your mother's womb.
Yes.
And so it is very, very important at that time. Like, that we have this thing called Garbh Sanskar. It's a part of our Indian culture.
Yes.
And the entire concept is that right from the time the child is in the mother's womb, the mother herself exposes herself to good things all around, positive things all around, so that the child is, when the child comes to this world, the child has already inherited really positive sanskar. So being surrounded, so even the father, when the child is in the womb, what the mother is seeing, what she's eating, what she's thinking, what she's viewing,
Yes.
and what is the father contributing to that, because the child will listen to, the sounds.
Yes.
Is the family contributing to keep the mother happy? That is very important. It's taken for granted very often.
Yes.
That, and it becomes, it's like, okay, it's her responsibility and she just needs to be fed well. That's it. They only focus on the food. Only focus on the food.
You're right. Absolutely.
Yeah. But it is not that. It is about her emotional happiness.
That is so important.
Yeah. You have to take care of what the mother is feeling at that time. What is she going through? And very often we kind of, let that pass, ignore it.
Yes.
But the entire family is responsible for, raising that child right from the time the child is in the mother's womb. And so the mother's happiness should be prioritized.
I'm so glad you said that, the entire family, because those dynamics can change.
Yes.
And it can affect the mood of the woman.
Yes.
And she can transfer all of those vibrations to the child.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you speak also is so important. The kind of tone that you use is very important.
Yes.
The choice of your words also is very
Exactly.
important.
Yes.
The
Yes.
child is imbibing all of this.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. I'm so glad that you've said that.
And Prajakta, it's also very important for people to understand that your body is also made of sanskar.
Yes.
It's not just the thinking or the mind or the emotions. Your physical body is also built of those particular sanskars.
Yes.
So that is how much it impacts the child.
Absolutely. We're carrying a lot of emotions in our DNA.
Yeah.
All kinds of it.
Yes.
We can transfer that to the child, which we say genetics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Wonderful. So sometimes as parents, we want to be very overprotective, where the world has got all these threatening issues, and then you want to keep the child away from all of that. And then one side of seeing parents that's saying, just don't bother about it. He or she will grow up naturally. Why are you so overly concerned? Like, they push the child into the deep end of the pool. They say, okay, the child will learn to swim. How correct is that? Or how is it that we can bring a balance over here?
So one thing which I have noticed about myself also as a parent, and one important thing which Dada Shriji has taught us, is that before you try to change your children, you need to transform yourself.
Wonderful.
Because your child is going to look at you.
Yes.
More than listening to what you're saying, your child is going to check if you are following what you're trying to tell them, or the right kind of life or the right way of life. That's what the child is going to see, and that is what the child is going to follow. So it's very important that parents realize that when they are raising the child, are they doing what they are doing that is best for the child, or that is best for their image of, you know, what would reflect for them. Like if I have to be if I have to raise my child in a certain way, is that thought crossing my mind that what will people think about me or my child? Or is it what I am doing for my child completely focused on what is best for my child at that time? So usually we get stuck in this about, you know, and that's where we become a little scared and we take actions in such a way where we tend to become overprotective, or we, you know, tell them that, okay, do it on your own. So here is where we need to see, we need to ask ourselves that are we doing what is best for the child? Not for what people would think of us as parents or what people would think of the child, good child, bad child. Are we doing justice to what the child needs? Sometimes the child may need a little bit of a scolding.
Yes.
Sometimes we may have to push the child into the big bad world and, you know, be strong ourselves to let the child face the world on their own. So we have to see that in that particular moment, as a parent, what is it that I am doing with complete love and that selfless bhav. Sorry, what are we doing with that selfless emotion and bhav that is best for the child, and then take the decision.
Yes. In fact, this was going to be my next question, that how important is the inward journey of the child? You know, because we focus on education, then, as you said, societal norms and what people are going to think about us. So the focus is so much over there that we lose focus on the child's inward journey. So how do you work around that?
Yeah. So I'll start with a very beautiful program which Maitreyi Dadashriji has launched, which is called Maitri Sanskar.
Wonderful.
And it's the whole concept is so beautiful around imbibing the right values in children right from a young age. Now, the thing is that we do have value education in school, and we do have certain, you know, ways in which we try to incorporate those values in the way we raise our children. But it was done very differently back in the day. As a part of the Indian culture, I would say, it used to be done very differently. Used to live in a joint family. There is your dada, nani, you know. Then these things were there. So from there, those values and that culture would automatically get transferred. Today, that is not the case. And so when it becomes just a mere part of, you know, what you go to school and attend and do, then children don't probably take it that seriously because it becomes another subject. So Maitri Sanskar incorporates these values in the curriculum, but in a very different way, in a very beautiful way, in a very cultural way. It has how do I say, you know, that ras, or that foundation.
Yes.
Yeah, that is what is there.
I love the way you're speaking about it. There's so much of emotion that you really love that particular program.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. To go back to your question, Prajakta ji, so this is a program which he has incorporated, keeping that culture intact. So it's not just values, but it's values incorporated with our culture.
Yes.
And India is known to be the country where culture thrives. You know?
Absolutely. And we are forgetting our culture and our tradition, all of it.
Yeah. So taking that, incorporating that and these values and giving it a really, you know, a beautiful way of delivering where it feels like home, where it feels like this is, you know, and children, the way we've designed it, the way he has guided us to, you know, kind of come up with the program. And it's so beautiful when we go out there and when children receive it, it's beautifully done. So these values are very important because this is what is lacking.
Yes.
So just to share with you, like these days we hear of a lot of children, a lot of youths who commit suicide.
Yes.
Right? And it could be, the reason could be really, really small.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, definitely there is an impact of the world when it comes to these kind of actions, but it also has to do with values.
Completely.
Because because Prajakta ji, when we were growing up, and definitely the parenting has become more lenient, I would say, more focused on the external growth, probably is what I would say is one of the reasons for that. But what happens, what used to happen with us, or generations before me, we were taught how to deal with difficult situations. And we were taught that get up and buck up and go and face it. Now what is happening today, there's so much of exposure, and we as parents are also trying to catch up to it. The children are also trying to catch up to it, and there are different sorts of challenges to face on a day-to-day basis that even the parents are not aware of. Like, what is happening on social media is changing every second. And how does a child face that? The child is trying to cope. The parent is trying to cope.
Yes.
So that's where, so then where do you fill the gap? So the gap is filled where values come in. And when values come in, you can deal with one solid value of being strong from within, of knowing who you truly are. That one solid value can help you face any kind of problems, no matter what.
Very true.
And so it's important.
To instill these values, the parent herself or himself, or both the parents, have to have these values themselves.
Exactly. Yes.
So that they can instill this into the child.
Yes. Yes.
So what is happening in this world today with nuclear families and both parents are working, the value system, the belief system is actually disintegrating.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm so glad that Dada Shriji has, started this. I love him.
Yeah, I know. They all do.
Because he's love.
Yes.
And what we need today is actually love.
Yes. Yes.
And that can solve so much.
Yes.
And at least I live by that.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Love and compassion. You were just now saying, yes, you were saying something.
And I just wanted to add to the love part of it.
Yes.
For my experience, so love was just a concept for me before I met Dada, a concept which was influenced by what the world speaks of love. Yeah. But Dada made love very practical for me. And he made love very applicable, and he simplified what love is.
Wonderful.
And that is what I love about Dada Shriji, that he exemplifies and radiates that love himself. And he simplifies it for you to be able to incorporate it in your life.
So now that you're saying about, simplifying something, the other day I was scrolling and he spoke about panic attacks in 5 minutes, not even 5, 3 minutes.
Yes.
And he made you feel so comfortable about panic attacks.
Yes.
Is saying that, it is not a disease or a disorder. It's something that is so natural.
Yes.
That, out of stress, sometimes you get these palpitations and you feel you cannot move forward to do any such thing.
Yes.
It was such a beautiful explanation and gave one, if one is going through anxiety and panic attack, that comfort level. People should go and watch that.
Yes.
They should watch his 5-minute episodes where he's simplifying a lot of things for mankind.
Yes. Yes.
And that is what we need.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. So you were just saying, social media and how kids are on it. The question here is that our youth today, they're so techy and so technologically savvy and creative. And they're a big force of change in certain aspects of our life. But with all of that, I'm also seeing that a lot of them commit suicide. I mean, I don't want to say it and repeat it, but yes, a lot of them, they go through anxiety, they go through fears, and they, have this loneliness that they feel, an emptiness. And to get rid of that, then they indulge in things that are not really conducive for them.
Yeah.
How is it that you and Maitri both give them guidance?
Thank you for asking this, Prajaktaji, because it's so important. And again, especially for our country where our youth are our strengths.
Absolutely.
We have the largest population of youth, and they are our strength. So they need a place to feel comfortable. They need a place to be able to, be relieved.
Yes.
They need a place where they can be themselves. And MaitriBodh Parivaar's one extension or a wing is called YGPT, Youth for Global Peace and Transformation. And this youth wing has been doing wonderful work.
All right.
One of the most amazing feedback that we get from the youth who join into YGPT, saying that it's a place where we can actually be ourselves.
Wonderful.
All guards down. You can be
Yes.
yourself. It doesn't matter whether there is a disparity in the background, where we come from, the language that we speak. It's just that you can be yourself. There are no masks, or there's no image that you need to maintain.
Yes.
And this is because the two core values, or the two offerings, one is self-development, and the second is selfless service. So
Okay.
through self-development, which includes knowing yourself, dealing with day-to-day challenges,
Yes.
dealing with youth-based, like what I just spoke earlier, that every day there is something new on social media.
Yes.
Now with AI, everything is growing so fast.
It's scary.
Yeah. So then in this case, how do you deal? Like, a common question is that now, as AI is going up, and the fear of jobs going down, and the insecurity of that, and then are we on the right path of education? So with our programs, we try to address these practical challenges, but through your self-development, so that you overcome these fears, these insecurities, and you're constantly focused and passionate about what you need to do in your life. So you get a challenge, you feel those inhibitions, or let's say that insecurity. We can tell you immediately how you address that and get back on track and work for what you have to achieve. And one of the most amazing things that YGPT can do for the youth is that it can help them identify what is their core unique quality.
So they can pursue that.
They can pursue that. In terms of it could be something which is very innate and abstract, but then when you discover it, you know exactly what to do with that.
Yeah. Okay.
And the second part of it is selfless service. So when you go out there and when you offer your seva,
It's a fulfillment.
oh my God. And that, Prajakta ji, gives you such a beautiful perspective about life.
Yes.
So where you are, in your own little bubble of what's happening with your friends and what's happening with on your social media, and how you need to project yourself. But when you go out there and when you help other people, when you clean the beaches, or when you go to cancer homes and spend time with the children over there, you go to old age homes and make people over there happy. And you are there, you're standing up for peace, and you're standing up for love in this chaos that is going on.
Yes.
You really find yourself over there, and you really get a very large perspective of what life is about. And that's when you come out of that bubble. And that's when all of these challenges that you face, in your youth, you overcome that.
You become more resilient also towards them. Wonderful. The abbreviation that you used, if you could say it once again, and also the full form of this particular program, so that our audience can listen to it and know if there are out there, people who don't know of it, the youth who don't know of it, and who need a place, a safe haven to go to, where there is no stigma, there is no finger pointing. It's just you and the good Lord and the divine. So if you can.
So the initiative, or the group is called YGPT, Youth for Global Peace and Transformation. And I wanted to share with you, Prajakta ji, now that you've given us this beautiful opportunity to come and speak about doing this kind of work. There is a program which we are launching, which is called the Bharat Yuva Parivartan Yatra. And with this program, we are traveling across, I think, more than 12 cities.
Oh, wonderful.
All across India. The objective is to unite and uplift the youth of India. And the two main objectives are that one is discover yourself, discover your potential, go after your passion, become an achiever in terms of what you achieve in the external world, and also grow from within, so have that parallel growth. And the second aspect of it is to for cultural integrity, which is also a very important aspect, to feel that unity, to feel that Bharat, that is what we are going to incorporate.
Not lose out of this wonderful cultural base and traditions that we have in India. Is there a particular age group here? I mean, tell us.
So the age group is from 16 to 30, 35. We can push it to 35.
You must push it to 35.
Yes. From 16.
Yes, because that is when, actually, with certain people, the maturity sets in.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right about that. So yeah, around 16 to 30, 35, we push it because you asked us to.
Dada Shriji, please forgive me.
No, not at all. So very beautiful. Dada Shriji, once somebody asked him that, Dada, how would you define a youth? And Dada said that a young person or a youth is someone who is who adapts to change very easily.
Wonderfully said.
Yeah. So who's somebody who's willing to change
Yes.
simply, easily, who adapts easily,
Yeah.
that person is a youth.
So you can do this at the age of 40, 45, and 60 also. You are a youth all the way, my dear. And under Dada Shriji's tutelage, you are actually a fountain of youth.
You do.
Because he is filling you with so much of love.
Yes. He is. And that's what he says, no, Prajakta ji? He says that transformation and spiritual transformation is what he talks about. And he says that it is not, we have this concept in our mind that transformation just has to do with the mind and emotions and the spiritual body. But you experience spiritual transformation or even spirituality with your physical body first.
Absolutely.
Because that is where the sanskara, that is what experiences those states of consciousness, that the physical body is what will take actions, and doing your duty is so important. So important. So I don't know why we divide this aspect of being spiritual and the rest of what we do.
I'm glad you said that.
It's completely one. It's integrated.
It is a total integration. And the thing that, actually works on your body is love. And he knows what he's doing when he says, instill love into yourself, be kind to others, speak, with wonderful, sweet words to others. Because that love is going to transform you. That love is going to heal you.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yes. As individuals, we feed ourselves with so much of food to be healthy, to look after ourselves. We get into this diet and that diet. We spend a fortune. We spend a fortune in wanting to look good.
Yes.
You have the cosmetologists who are raking in the funds, God forgive me. We go to different gyms, we want to work out, and that is all wonderful.
Yes.
You need to look after yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
You need to look after yourself to feel good. But then, we're doing all of this to keep our physical body alive. What about the soul?
Yeah.
How do you keep your soul alive?
So, I would say that your soul, which is a part of your divine, is there within you, and it's there within your heart. And what happens is that we disconnect from this aspect of ourselves, this most divine part of our entire existence is our soul. And we disconnect from it because of the mind, because of the external world, because of how we engage with the external world, and because of conditioning and layers and all of that. The distance between that most sacred, purest love, form of ourselves, we move away from it. So the journey towards the soul, back towards home, is very important. To discover, once you reach that part and once you hit that reality that you are actually the soul, and you are surrounded by these layers of your consciousness and your panch kosh and all, but your true self is that, your true identity is that divinity. Once you move closer to that, once you discover that, is where you start experiencing tremendous freedom and lightness and growth. And for that, people think that you directly jump onto doing some heavy meditations. For that, you directly jump onto doing some intense sadhanas. Or it can only be done if you're a vairagi, if you disconnect from the world outside. People assume that that is the way, that, and they jump onto that directly. But it is very basic, very, very basic. The first step, and that's what Dada Shriji always says, the first step towards that is do your duties.
Yes.
Aapka kartavya nibhaiye. Do what work you're supposed to do as a duty towards your parents, towards your family, towards the society, and towards yourself.
Yes.
So that is one thing I think to start your spiritual journey, you can start doing that is the first thing. And second thing is find the right guidance. There is a lot of there's a lot out there today. There's a lot available on the internet. There is a lot available in books. But find a proper, genuine guide who will guide you towards that journey within, will take it step by step for you and actually give you the experience of what they are talking about.
So you need a proper guru, actually.
Absolutely. You need a proper guru, you need a proper guide, you need that strong friend with you who will help you move ahead. And for me and for you, Prajaktiji, luckily we've had Dada Shriji in our life to do that, because he's so beautifully, when I've seen him, when he meets people and he asks this question first, that, how may I serve you? How may I serve you? And being where he is, for him to be so humble and so grounded to ask, how may I serve you? You understand that he's genuinely here for you. He keeps saying, I don't want you to follow me. Don't follow me. I'm not looking for followers. Be happy in your life. That is what is my priority. Give me your problems and just take me as a friend.
Absolutely.
And so I would suggest to your amazing listeners that find that guide in your life who prioritizes you, and you feel that there is somebody there who's taking care of me. That is the feeling that I have today, that no matter what, I know that someone's taking care of me. I know that Dada is there, and I don't know how many people out there have that.
I'm sure those who are following Dada Shriji have that feeling, because he gives you that feeling, he's never condescending. So the biggest virtue for me in spirituality is humility. And it can only come by when there is love, when there is compassion. You can't isolate one from the other. They're all virtues that are intertwined for me. One last question. And you may answer it if you wish to, because it's going to be a little personal. You're a parent yourself. So, in 1 or 2 lines, how is it that you create this balance in your life?
A balance between
You're doing so much of wonderful work.
seva and
And then you are a parent. So how do you bring in, as you say in the corporate world, work-life balance? So how do you bring this in?
Is it okay if I can take 2 minutes to share a small story?
Of course, please.
So the thing is, Prajaktaji, when you are so dedicated towards, a cause, and you invest a lot of time in it, and the world around that, kind of judges you. So the world questions that, okay, she's spending so much time here. What about the child? What about doing that? And I know personally that the work that I do, and personally how much time I give my child, and the bond that I share with her, because Dada Shriji insists on us being grihasti and taking care of our family. That is very important. That is spirituality for us. So he insists and he tells us, that take care of your children. So I do invest that kind of time. But then sometimes the world, puts that doubt in your head that are you doing the right thing? So there was one time where we had gone for a holiday. And my brother was there, my husband and I, and my daughter. And I had a call to attend, which was for seva. And they stepped out for dinner. And I was in the hotel and I was, doing my call. And while my daughter was playing in that little play area, there was another lady, another mother, who came to take her child. And she asked my daughter was very young at that time. I think she was 5 or something. So that lady asked her that, who are you here with? So she pointed at my brother and my husband. And then she said, where is your mother? So she said, my mother is in the hotel and she's working, so she couldn't come here. So the lady asked her, she said, what does your mother do? And with everything that my child understands in that capacity of a 5-year-old, she said that my mother works for Mother Earth. That was the answer which she gave. And that lady she went up to my husband and my brother and she said, what does she do? What do you mean by working for Mother Earth? And when I came back, I asked my daughter, I said, why did you say that? She said, because that's the work that you're doing, which is so important. You're helping people, you're helping the planet, and that's why you're working for Mother Earth, and for me, it's the best job in the world.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. So when I heard that, Prajakta ji, at that
Gave you
time,
such a sense of satisfaction and happiness.
and confidence that I am on the, if this is the sanskar that I am imparting in her,
Yes.
that serving the planet is, one of the highest duties, or one of the highest service, selfless service is one of the highest values. If I'm being able to incorporate, put that into her heart, and if she's following that, and if she believes in that, then I think it's a job well done. That's what I feel, at least.
I have attended both 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I've heard your discourses, and I love the way in which you respond to people's issues.
Thank you, Prajakta.
That's very dark. Ever since then, I had this, okay, I'm going to start my podcast, and I have to bring this woman, I said woman at that point in time, on board. Now that I'm saying woman, all of you address one another with that G at the end. Prajakta Ji, Saundarya Ji, Gayatri Ji. What is that G?
So everybody asks this question, and everybody thinks that it's, people tell us that don't say G. It makes us feel old.
Or I said G once. I also said this to you, but it's not because of old. I am old.
No, it's because of having like a, they're the same kind of a.
No, I put you up over there, and I said I'm just a small little mortal addressing. So I honestly, that was my feeling, because for me, what MaitriBodh Parivaar is doing, and this is not marketing, this is heartfelt. It's doing a wonderful job, and you people as conductors are really giving of yourselves to other people, and this doesn't always happen. Yeah. So for me, it was respect. Yeah. So yes, tell me. I'm sorry that I
No, you're not at all.
interrupted.
But that's exactly what it is, Prajakta ji. It's respect. It's so Prajakta or Saundarya or anybody else, that is the name of the physical body, which is there for this particular lifetime. But there is also something which is actively conscious and living within you, which has been there right from your, inception from the source, and that is your soul. And so for me, in my understanding, the G is to pay that respect to the soul. And so Prajakta is
Namaste.
Namaste
Is
yes.
respect. People don't understand the importance of this namaste.
Yes.
There's a lot of meaning.
So with Prajakta, I'm addressing, Prajakta in this physical body, but with G, I am also addressing the soul. This is my understanding of it, and
it's a wonderful one, and I know that it is the understanding. Thank you so much, Saundarya Ji. And thank you, as our audience listening to this podcast. Do take some of these pearls of wisdom that has been shared with you. And the youth out there, you know that you have a safe haven to go to. Do not hesitate. Just feel loved at MaitriBodh Parivaar with the people that are there. Bring in love in your lives, and it's going to take you a long way. Well, thank you so much, all of you, for listening to us so patiently and intently. God bless you all.